Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hope everybody's had had a good weekend. But I'm here to chop it up. I know it's Tuesday, but this is live. Another latest edition of Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Where do I begin? Last night was the NBA's first televised national show, award show, and then also Sunday was the debut of Ice Cube's BIG3. I know this is a sports show, and I know that I talk a lot about basketball, but as you can see, basketball is my passion, and right now, to me, it's just taking over the headlines. I mean, baseball is baseball, but baseball don't get good until after the All-Star break. But right now, basketball has all the headlines. So listen, if you want to be part of the show, give me a call, 706-815926. If you want to be part of the show, 706-815926. Let me put that up there. Call in. So the NBA had their first award show. Like them or not, hate them, love them, whatever. I thought Drake did a good job at hosting the show. He had a couple of good jokes, some one-liners. Of course, there was some technical difficulties throughout. I like what Kenny Smith said to him about, did you write this material? But it had some good moments. But let's talk about it. There were some many highlights that took place at the award show last night. I want to start with the Rookie of the Year. I thought Malcolm Brogdon should have been Rookie of the Year. That was my feeling about it. I thought that he should have been Rookie of the Year. He guided his team to the playoffs. Milwaukee was a team, a good team, or was doing well. Let's put it that way. They was doing well. But once he got inserted into the starting lineup, Malcolm Brogdon led this Milwaukee team to the playoff. I know Joel Embiid, the process, and he looks like he's going to be every bit of it, but he only played 31 games. I don't think 31 games counted enough for someone to be able to participate in any award. Malcolm Brogdon was the real deal, 5-year senior out of Virginia. I love what he had to say upon receiving the award. It was just great. It really was. It was a great moment. He deserved it. He earned it. I thought it was well deserved. He done a good job. And the future for Milwaukee is bright. I mean, not only do they have the Rookie of the Year, they also had the the most improved player of the year, and that's Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let me tell you something about this guy here. I think that in the next 2 to 3 years, I think he will be and become one of the top 5 players in the league at the way he's going. He's only getting better. Once again, Giannis, look for Milwaukee to be strong with the playmaking ability and the control leader that Malcolm Brogdon is, and Giannis' ability to do anything on the court and only to get better. If Jason Kidd can continue to coach this team as well as teach this team, the sky's the limit for Milwaukee Bucks. I really think they have a chance to do exceptionally well in the upcoming seasons, especially with the uncertainty of Cleveland's future after this next season. Will LeBron remain as a Cleveland Cav? If he chooses to leave again, does Kyrie Irving demands a trade? So many things that can play out. Will Boston put the right product together to either take over the East once Cleveland is dismantled? Or does Milwaukee be that team that rises under the radar, but steady growing. You know, I was talking to a few friends of mine. I believe that Milwaukee is what Golden State was a couple of seasons ago. Before they started making their run, this is what they used to look like under Mark Jackson, before Mark Jackson got them to the playoffs. This is what Milwaukee looked like. I mean, Golden State looked like. A young team that was just growing and being nurtured. And the sky's the limit for Milwaukee. Again, they got the Rookie of the Year last night and the Most Improved Player. Future's looking bright for Milwaukee. Kudos to Malcolm Brogdon and Giannis. I appreciate that. Good to see you watching. How you doing, Sharon? Nice. Thank you. But yes, Milwaukee, that's the team. Moving right along. So, you know, they say defense is what wins games. You know, and although the team with the most points is always the winner, but they say defense is what wins games. And it may not be may not be a coincidence that the NBA champions had the Defensive Player of the Year, Draymond Green. Let me tell you something about Draymond Green. To me, Draymond Green, I hear you, Jonathan. Draymond Green is one of those guys I think could play in any era. He's a physical guy, a rugged guy, very physical, but he has so much passion that he just guards whoever's in front of him. And his ability, sometimes his you don't see him in the box score, but you know he's out there. He guards from 1 to 5. He guards in the post. He guards in the perimeter. He rebounds. He blocks shots. He gets steals. He gets deflections. He's talking out there. He's a leader. I mean, he could be somewhat of a modern day Dennis Rodman, except for he's just not the rebounding machine that Rodman was. But he gets after it somewhat like a Rodman. He doesn't care who's in front of him, whether it's DeAndre Jordan or Kyrie Irving. He's going to get in front of him and play defense. He's not stopping anybody all the time or everybody all the time, but he is making the game difficult. And there's no coincidence that the Defensive Player of the Year is on a team that won the championship. As they say, defense is what wins games. And people fail to realize that Golden State defense is nearly as good as their offense. And Draymond Green anchors that defense for Golden State. He calls out plays. He calls out the picks. He's constantly talking, getting people in line. And if people is not participating, he lets them know on the sidelines. Whether it's Curry, Durant, or whoever. Now, no knock on Kawhi Leonard. I think he's part of this same conversation. Gobert, he's definitely an upcoming. And we're probably going to see his name mentioned again. But I think the voters got it right when they put Draymond Green as Defensive Player of the Year. I think he did a sensational job as Defensive Player of the Year. We're going to move along. Sixth Man of the Year, I didn't agree with this one. I thought Lou Williams should have won it. What he did in L.A. for a losing team to maintain his prowess off the bench. And then he goes to Houston, continues the same prowess. In fact, he had the highest average out of all the players that came off the bench with 17.6. Many teams, that's the second leading scorer. Maybe even on some playoffs team. And he's doing that off the bench. I thought Lou Williams, Sweet Lou, should have got that honor, but it went to his teammate in Houston, Eric Gordon, who was second in scoring, maybe because he played on Houston all year and Lou Williams played on LA that didn't have a chance. But at the end of the day, I thought I would have voted for Lou Williams. I thought Lou Williams deserved it. I really did. I thought he deserved it. And but Eric Gordon did have a sensational season, and he helped propel Houston to a good season. And speaking of to a good season, and that's why D'Antoni was rewarded with Coach of the Year. I'm not the biggest D'Antoni fan. I don't like how he handled the Knicks. I didn't like how he handled the Lakers. He doesn't play no defense. He finally found a team in such a long time. If you want to be part of the show, give me a call, 706-801-5926. I just don't like how they he handled those two teams. He finally found a team that kind of resembled a little bit of the success he had in Phoenix, where it was just, to beat us, you got to outscore us. They didn't really clamp down on any possessions on defense. It was just simply outscore us. And they ran into San Antonio, that knew how to put a stop down and yet put points on the board. And that's why I wouldn't have voted for him for Coach of the Year. I would have went in another direction. Actually, I thought that you should have given it to Brad Stevens or the guy in Utah. I can't think of his name right now. I thought those two guys was deserving of it. Had the Miami Heat made it to the playoffs, you could make a case for Eric Spoelstra. But I just don't. Here's another thing, too. And I got to ask you guys this. And if you want to be part of the show, 706-801-5926. My question is this. Who's responsible for the team's success? Is it a player who's up for MVP, or is it a coach who's up for Coach of the Year? Apparently, they favored the coach because he didn't win the award. But again, I would have chosen either Brad Stevens, and why can't I think of this guy's name in Utah? I thought he did a sensational job with the injuries he had to deal with in Utah. I thought it was sensational what he did. Quinn Snyder. Those would have been my two nominees for Coach of the Year. But nevertheless, they gave it to Mike D'Antoni. I want to switch gears a little bit. Well, Dirk won an award for Teammate of the Year. I'm not sure how you value that, but anytime Dirk wins an award, it's always rewarded. Dirk Nowitzki, that is. You may not realize this, but when it's all said and done, he is going to be a top 25, possibly a top 20 player to ever play this game. As right now, as we speak, he's number 6 on the all-time scoring list. Mr. Consistency, Mr. Consistent, Mr. Professional, just go about his business, knocks down shots, big shots after big shots, has a championship ring. Just one of the good guys that the league have seen. And not to mention, he just had a great career. And when you talk about power forwards, his name doesn't come up, but he's clearly a top 10 power forward to ever play this game, possibly top 5. Possibly top 5. Dirk Nowitzki, who's played his whole career in Dallas. He got traded on draft day. Milwaukee drafted him, and they traded him for a tractor trailer. God bless his soul. But Dirk Nowitzki, he wins Teammate of the Year. I like this speech. In fact, I liked everybody's speech. I thought everybody came up there and represented themselves very well. Very well. Very well. The Lifetime Achievement Award. I mean, how do you argue Bill Russell? How do you argue giving this award to Bill Russell? The Finals MVP is named after him. This guy made his living, made his bread and butter, made his name by winning 11 championships in 13 years. Oh, by the way, he won an NCAA title. He won a gold medal in the Olympics. and he won an NBA championship in a span of 13 months. Has anybody come close to that? In a span of 13 months, he was able to accomplish that. No one has done that. Somebody fact check me on that. If you want to be part of the show, 706-801-5926. Bill Russell, 11 championships in 13 years as a player, as a coach, an African-American man, a black man, living in the city of Boston during this time, and oh, by the way, stepped away from the court to fight for social justice, fight for rights, along with the likes of Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, and others, and was able to handle his business while playing basketball and living in Boston at that? I say incredible. And I'm maybe I'm biased on this, but to watch Jabbar, Alonzo Mourning, Mutombo, David Robinson, and Shaq present the award to him. Where was Patrick Ewing? He couldn't get the day off? Patrick Ewing should have been up there above, standing with those likes. I mean, I'll take Patrick Ewing over Lonzo and Mutombo any day. Patrick Ewing should have been invited. Where was he? This was New York, for crying out loud. Patrick Ewing, I know you're the head coach of Georgetown now, and I know you're probably doing your recruiting and this and that, but you should have been there representing the city of New York. And you're one of the best big men that ever played the game. If memory served me, you're a part of the greatest 50. You should have been on stage. He should have received an invite. So what? I'm a Knicks fan. He should have been there representing. But nevertheless, a well-deserved award, Lifetime Achievement Award for the big fella, Bill Russell. And then he had the nerve to say, I'll kick all of you. It was a good chuckle. But well deserved. And I couldn't think of a better candidate for the first annual NBA Awards show. And Bill Russell. I mean, I can tell you, maybe the next 5 that's going to wind up getting an award at some point. Some names like Jordan, Bird, and Magic. They're going to get awards. Maybe Oscar Robertson. They'll be getting that Lifetime Achievement Award in the very near future. Jabbar. We can go on. We're going to see some more of this because I'm telling you, the NBA Awards show is here to stay. I thought it was phenomenal. I think that it's going to grow. If I had if I had 2 recommendations, maybe a red carpet, you know what I mean? And one thing about the NBA players, they always have flair, whether it's on draft night or just the way they show up to games. A red carpet would have been nice. And 2, no knock on Nicki Minaj or anything like that. I thought her performance was good and everything. But maybe we could have had Curtis Blow out there talking about his basketball rap song from back in the day. I'm playing basketball. That might have been a nice little touch, or is that too much to ask for? Just to have some basketball-related songs or whatever the case is. But nevertheless, I do see it growing, and it's only going to get bigger, and I think it's only going to get better. And hopefully they can move to a bigger venue, maybe Radio City Music Hall or something like that, or if they decide to take it from city to city. But great show last night. And once again, great honor for Bill Russell, the great Bill Russell. All right, before I talk about Westbrook and the MVP speech, there was a moment last night that I'm gonna tell you something. I'm 100% man. I believe in myself. I have confidence. I have faith. I fear God. I love God. I'm a God-fearing man. Well, I'm going to tell you something. when I grow up, I want to be like Monty Williams. I don't think we know too many people, brothers, like Monty Williams. You talk about a man who just doesn't seem like he has any ill feeling towards nothing. You can tell that God is ahead of his life. The man's faith is unbelievably strong. Just simply unbelievable. When you listen to this man speak, you don't want him to shut up. You can learn from this guy. And that's how I found myself. Listen, I don't feel that way in awe too often when I listen to someone speak. Yeah, there's individuals that get my attention when they speak. But Monty Williams is one of those people that when he speaks, I'm all ears. Because just everything about him. I mean, you talk about an award that's fitting. The Craig Sager Award. I mean, it represents courage, strength, just someone that, Craig Sager was someone that everybody liked and admired. He seemed like he had no harm towards anybody. Little did we know that when this guy was coming to games and doing his sideline performance and job, he was going in for treatment, staying days at a time, and still getting up. It probably prolonged his life. But to see Monty Williams earn that first award, and how fitting he gets a jacket. Just outstanding. Again, Monty Williams is an example for all men of all ages. Of all ages. When he said that, he was appreciative of people calling him up, talking about how they felt towards his wife, about his wife situation. And for those who don't know, his wife was killed in an automobile accident in Oklahoma City. And, people giving their condolences and expressing what they can do and how you feel and this and that. He said, there was another party involved that is also going through the same thing. Let's give that same support to that family. We hold no ill feelings towards them. It's just unbelievable, man. And listen, it just should be more people like this guy. He's what we call a stand-up guy. And again, when I grow up, I want to be like that guy. And now he has the honor or the honor, the task of raising 5 children on his own. And he calls it a blessing. I don't know how to describe this guy, Monty Williams. It's just his faith and what is in him is so strong that if he passed it out or poured it in a cup and gave it to everyone, I don't know if everyone could drink it. That's how strong it is. But unbelievable. And he's well deserved of that award. And like I said, when he speaks, I can listen. And when he's done with his association with basketball, there's a pastoral position somewhere for him. Definitely a pastoral position for him. Kudos to Monty Williams. And much respect and love to his family. The guy is one of the great ones. And we should pay attention to him just a little bit more often. Again, if you want to be part of the show, 706-801-5926. So Monty Williams wins the first ever Craig Sager Award. He receives a Craig Sager jacket. What a nice touch that was. Reminiscent of the Masters at the golf tournament. When you wear a Masters, you get a green jacket. Well, in this case, you get the Craig Sager jacket. Very nice touch. And last but not least, well, Executive of the Year, it went to Bob Myers of Golden State. How could you not? Everything that he did, he decided not to re-sign Festus Ezeli. He traded Bogut, let Harrison Barnes go. He picks up Kevin Durant, JaVale McGee, and David West. And although the offseason this year is going to be a little bit more tougher as they try to keep the band together, but all three of those played a pivotal role until to the 4-1 victory over 4 games to 1 victory over the Cleveland Cavs for Golden State to capture their second championship in 3 trips, in 3 years, I should say. How do you not give him the Executive of the Year award? So great job by Bob Myers. And, I'm not close enough with NBA players to know who's deserving of this award or not. But anytime you are a recipient of this award, kudos to you. As Kemba Walker received Sportsmanship of the Year. That's just excellent. I mean, listen, there's 15 guys on a roster. There's 30 teams. There's 450 players in the league. And you get the Sportsman of the Year award. That's just outstanding. And whatever you're doing, Kemba, to receive that honor and the very first Sportsman of the Year award in the NBA award show, I just say keep doing it. And if you can pass it around or you can teach it to some of the youngsters that are coming up and want to be in this arena and in this profession, I say pass that around. Pass it around. Because at the end of the day, sportsmanship can go a long ways. It's kind of like manners. It's kind of like manners. If you have good manners, you could go a long way. Yes, you can. So the last award, it's only fitting that Kevin Durant made his choice to leave Golden State. I leave for Golden State, I should say. And depart from OKC and probably break up one of the best 1-2 duels to ever play together. They're probably clearly in the top 10. He goes on to Golden State, wins the championship, and he's MVP of the finals. But Westbrook says, hold on. I know you gone. He takes on the challenge. Y'all think I'm not going to make the playoffs? He takes on the challenge. And he drives not only himself, but his teammates. And as wild as he is, he drove them. And not only did he drive them to the playoffs, but he did it by averaging a triple-double for the year. Something that has not been done in 55 years. And I still argue to today that the hardest part for him was the assist, because he plays with a bunch of players that are offensively challenged. They barely can hit free throws, let alone open shots. If he doesn't put it in a layup position for them, he probably has to pass twice as much just to get the 10 assists. No knock on the Kawhi Leonards. No knock on the LeBron James. No knock on the Kevin Durant, the Steph Curry. No knock on James Harden, who was beat out again. But this was Westbrook's award, and he deserved it. He earned it, and he deserved it. A great year for Westbrook. And reports have it today that he's willing to stay in OKC and sign a 5-year, $200 million contract. Now, they're going to have to get him some shooters if they want to elevate or go any further in the playoffs. He's got to be surrounded by shooters. They have their homework. If he says he's going to stay and accept that contract, then you need to supply him with talent. But what a job done this year by Westbrook. The duel breaks up. He's MVP of the regular season. Durant is MVP of the finals. I know Westbrook wish it was the other way around, but nevertheless, they both showed that they did not need each other. Tremendous year by Westbrook by not only earning it, but deserving it in winning the most valuable player award in the NBA. Westbrook. And he broke down in tears. And the funny thing about Westbrook, this guy, he has a motor that doesn't stop. He comes to work, he's dressed pretty wild. But to hear him speak yesterday and how he was so grateful and thankful and how he recognized all those that made this possible, whether it was from his mom to his dad to his teammates that he called up on stage. And then he shouted out his little brother who just received his master's degree that he said is his role model that texts him every game at halftime. Maybe he sees something. Maybe he's coaching him from afar. But whatever he's texting him, Westbrook is respected. I thought it was a great speech. I thought he was very humble about it. I just thought the whole night for NBA was great last night. I hope it grows, not necessarily grow in awards, but just grow, continue on, maybe get to a larger venue, maybe a red carpet, maybe you get a red carpet since TNT is sponsoring it. You get Reggie Miller and Chris Webber on the outside, catching people coming in. I know there's some young ladies on the staff. They could do what you're wearing. I just think this has a chance to grow. Right now, the NBA is among the top sporting event right now. And this could be nice. You can take it on the road, or you can just have it in a designated area. However, a larger venue, this has the making of something great. Once again, just to recap some of the awards that was given out, I agreed with the Rookie of the Year, Malcolm Brogdon. I agree with Most Improved with Giannis. I don't agree with the Sixth Man. I thought Lou Williams should have got it. I agree with the Defensive Player of the Year. I thought Draymond Green should win that. I don't agree with Coach of the Year. Here's my question to you guys. And if you like, call me up, 706-801-5926. If a player is up for MVP, you're telling me he's responsible for the team's success. Why is the coach up for Coach of the Year? Because if he's up for Coach of the Year, you're telling us that he's responsible for the team's success. To me, Coach of the Year, and that's why I don't agree with the Coach of the Year. I thought Coach of the Year should have gone to Brad Stevens or Quinn Snyder. But nevertheless, D'Antoni got Coach of the Year. And MVP, I mean, you can't say enough about that, Westbrook. And now I want to switch gears. I had a chance to watch some of the games of the Big 3. Ice Cube is on to something. Ice Cube is on to something. If you're not a baseball fan and it's not Olympic year and you need something to watch, especially if you're a basketball fan, if this is going to come on once a week for the next 6-8 weeks until football starts, Ice Cube is on to something. This Big 3 was competitive. It reminded me of when we was young. And because, listen, before you played full court or learn how to play full court, you started out on 3-on-3. You started out on 3-on-3. First, you started out playing straight up, and then you started out taking it back behind the foul line. Now that the three-point line is relevant, you got to clear the three-point line. Excellent. I think it was excellent. They got a 4-point shot. Why not? Why not? And you get a chance to see some former NBA players, maybe some of your favorites, maybe some that didn't have the great careers but has a chance to just shine right now. And that's what I saw. I saw 3 or 4 games, and I got to tell you, I'm impressed with this Big 3. The first 2 games was competitive. There was overtime. Just outstanding. It was fun to watch. A couple of guys looked like they still got it. Corey Maggette looked like he could still play. Deshaun Stevenson looked like he could still play. Unfortunately, Jason Williams, White Chocolate, he got hurt. That's the only risk about some of the older guys that go out there. There was a Kwame Brown sighting. Could you imagine that? Kwame Brown. Rashad Lewis was doing his thing. You know, people don't realize he was a good post-up player and had a tremendous outside shot. If he was playing today, he would kill him. He would kill him. It was excellent. It was fun to watch. I'm a fan. I'll be tuning in for every weekend to watch it. I have it on record in case I'm not home. It was fun to watch. Got a chance to see Allen Iverson out there. Although he didn't do too much playing, he did more coaching. But still, to see him go out there and hit a jump shot, that was fun to watch. Iverson is one of those guys that played in NBA history that's in a class by himself. And that class is, I don't even know how you classify it. But everybody loves him. Everybody loves Iverson. And there's no ifs, ands, and buts about that. Everybody loves Iverson. So it was good to see him out there. You had Dr. J coaching, Rick Mahorn coaching, Charles Oakley coaching. It's just, it was great to see. Gary Payton. I've never seen a coach in any sporting event talk as much crap as Gary Payton. Gary Payton was out there talking, man. They had the mic on him. He was all over the referees. Gary Payton. You know, they say he was one of the best trash talkers out there. He was at it. He was at it last night. I'd say he was definitely at it. But definitely, Ice Cube has something going right there. And they interviewed Paul Pierce. They said, Paul Pierce, is there a chance of you getting out there? And I quote, this is what he said. I'll call KG up and see if Kobe wants to come down. That's pay-per-view, buddy. If you can get Paul Pierce, the truth, KG, the big ticket, and the Black Mama on a 3-on-3 team, going up against anybody, people will pay to see that. People will pay to see that. Listen, out of the retirees that's out there, you're not going to find a better 3 than that. I mean, I'm sure you can put something together and maybe you come up with something. I don't know. But that 3 right there, and they're not that far removed from playing, so they'll still have some kind of game shape in them. Listen, that would be a factor right there. The big ticket, the truth, and the Black Mama. Ah, come on. And I'm not their fans. But game recognized game. Game recognized game. So this 3-on-3 has an opportunity to grow. And it will be exciting if it does grow. And I hope that Ice Cube is able to grow this. Because it's perfect. Like I said, if you're not a baseball fan and you need something to hold you over until football start, this will do it. This 3-on-3 is pretty good. Well, that's going to do it for my show. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And I look to get back at y'all soon. Y'all have a great night. Peace and blessing. This is Ramel for Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes. Straight from the throat. Y'all be good.